Hey everybody, it's Michael Skeleton here, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of Street Masters, a lot of Street Masters, let's just say that. Not just Rise of the Kingdom as you see here, but I actually got all 4 boxes in the latest Kickstarter. So as you can see up here, it says Steamforged, and that is significant because with this latest Kickstarter campaign, Steamforged Games basically repackaged all these Street Masters and reprinted them. So before this, it was released by Blackforge Games, which had issues. You can go read about it. There's a lot of different things that happened there. And basically their campaign for number 3, Tide of the Dragon, basically never delivered, or very few people got it. So Steamforged Games bought the rights. I don't know the details, but basically they can now print the game. And as part of that, they were delivering the previous campaign's games too, where they could. If you backed the latest Kickstarter, you would also get your Tide of the Dragon if you had paid for that back then. So I do want to open up all 4 of these on camera and see what they look like inside, especially the first 2, which had been previously released by Blackforge Games. I hope I'm getting that right. I haven't looked this up. So as you can see here, basically this is number 1, Street Masters Rise of the Kingdom, and it's got all the previous expansions packed inside, which is different than if you had the game, a previous version or edition of the game. So let's see what's different inside and go through them one by one. I'm not going to open up like every single pack of cards or anything in each of these boxes, otherwise we'd be here forever, but I will go through and name the expansions that are included in this. I do have the Kickstarter open so I can kind of refresh my memory. As I said, I'm new to the game. I didn't have this previously, so I don't know what all the things are and how they're separated. So let's just get right into it, dive right in, open up this first box and see what's inside, shall we? So before we jump into it, I just wanted to show how this came. It's in this absolutely massive box, definitely the biggest Kickstarter box I've ever received. It's got nice packaging though. The box was a little dinged up, but the games look pretty good inside. And there you go, you got all 4 in there. According to the outside of the box, this was about 40 pounds, so pretty crazy. Okay, first off, I gotta say this box is massive. It's so heavy. I mean, I thought the box with all 4 of them in was really heavy, but this one alone is really heavy. So let's just take off the top here and see. Whoa, something flew off. Okay, so this is what flew on the floor here, and this is really nice. I do like it. Street Masters Rise of the Kingdom game components. It shows you 110 miniatures, 625 cards in the fighter decks, 167 in the enemy decks, 335 in the stage decks. Then you've got story cards, ally rival cards, loot cards, turn cards, tokens. Wow, lots of stuff. So I'm liking this. It'll be very helpful when I go through everything. First on the top is rules of play. I believe, I'm not gonna like flip through this very much, but I believe all the boxes have the same rules, which is sort of like the latest version of the rules. So looks like it's 20 pages according to this. And yeah, we're at 23 with some art, some rules clarifications at the end. So this looks very nice. And it looks like this is the Steamforged Games edition. So there we go. Right off the bat, we got lots of miniatures. Wow. Yeah, lots of miniatures. So there's 1 tray. And I'm not even going to pretend to know how these are broken up. These definitely are all like the same up here. So those are probably minions for the enemy decks, but it does look mixed. Like I see some pretty unique guys in here, so don't think those are minions. Here is tray number 2 of miniatures. This one looks to be more uniform. So I think this is mostly minions. As you can see, like these guys are all the same, and those girls are all the same. Those girls are all the same, so that would be minions. Then we've got punch boards, and oh boy, do we have punch boards. I don't even know how many boards we got here. Let's count them real quick. Looks like 12 punch boards altogether. All right, I got the plastic wrap off all these punch boards. Let's quickly flash them. As I said, I'm no expert on this game. I'm new to this game. There's punch board 1 with the back. Nice, it's got names on it. I do recognize these guys. Punch board 2. Looks like some damage tokens. But full disclaimer, could be wrong. It's been a while since I've watched any videos on this. All right, these I do know are the defense tokens. I'm not sure of their name exactly, but there we go. That was punch board 3. This is punch board 4. Got some crates up there. Those I know go on the stages for like marking special objectives. There's the back. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So we had 4 actual punch boards, and then we've got the stages, assuming, looks like these are all stages. So that's gone ballistic. Are these double-sided? Wow, yeah. And this is the right to remain silent. Compromised. And original copy. Cashed out. This one's cool. Casino. Supply and demand. Steal memories. Sudden death. The ceremony. I like that one too. Ashes of the Eternal. Running Wild. And One Step Ahead. Under Destruction. Poison the Well. Rude Awakening. Out of Time. All right, so what was it? I think I said there was 12 punch boards originally. Well, there's really 4 punch boards, and the rest are the stages. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Now, it's probably a good time to say that the way Street Masters works, there's basically 2 core sets, 1 and 3, this one being one of them. And that gets you, say, all the dice you need. It gets you all these tokens you need, all the basic things to play the game. And then 2 and 4, sort of expansion only. You need either 1 or 3 to play it. 1 is obviously the original, and 3 was sort of a smaller core box as far as I understand it. So there is that. And I did pull up the Kickstarter here just to say sort of what comes in this. So this is the Rise of the Kingdom core box. Then you got all the stretch goals from the OG Kickstarter. Not sure what those were, but I assume they're all just in here. Then you have Legend of Oni expansion and the Twin Tigers expansion plus Redemption Pack 1. So that's everything all packed into one box now. So I'm trying to see, ooh, okay. So we've got this here. Looks like we've got at least 2 layers, possibly 3. This one comes with all the rings to place on the guys to differentiate who they are. It's kind of a different style than what I saw pictures of, but maybe they're the same. Plus you got dice for attacking and defending. These look really nice. Still can't believe they only give you 4 of each, but I do believe all the other boxes have more. So I did not get extra dice. Perhaps I will regret that. All right, and this looks like, yeah, that's the bottom. So this one's just empty. I'm assuming these are for all the tokens. Once you punch them out, you're gonna want them in there. And these are for all the cards, and wow, I mean, there's a lot of cards here. Let's, it is nice it's in a removable container like this. As I said, I'm not gonna go through all these cards, but I do feel the need to, oh geez, how do I even do this? All right, let's go through them. At least just flash them. Here's Dimitri. And something else, that's the back. So the way, I guess, well, let's look at another one. Sonic Blade, it's an attack card. And those look like story cards. Flying Knee ability. Natalia. Leaping Passau. It's an attack strike. More story cards, as you can see here, like down here it says Part 3B Epilogue. So there definitely is stories you can play through. Nunchuck Grab. Gabrielle. Under Destruction Stage Setup. Stage Root Awakening. So how you play this game, for those who don't know, you pick a fighter for yourself. You pick a enemy boss who comes with minions, and you pick a stage. And all three of those come with their own deck. So your fighter will have its own unique deck. The enemy will have its own unique deck, and the stage. So this is for the ceremony. This would be their deck. One step ahead, you know, it's got stage setup for this stage. And so you're really mixing and matching, and that's what really attracted me to this system. For those of you subscribed to my channel, you'll probably know I love Final Girl. That's my #1 solo game, and one of the things I love the most is mixing and matching different killers, locations, and Final Girls. So this definitely had that feel to it. But there aren't a ton of videos about the gameplay and such, so yeah, I kind of stopped reading these cards. I'm just flashing them so you can look at them on your own time. And yeah, there are, as we read, hundreds of these cards. Okay, Mac, he's a boss. There you go. He's got 22 hit points apparently, maybe 22 per player. 4 dice, special abilities. He's going to come with minions. And, you know, every turn you're going to be playing your turn from your hand of cards, and then the boss goes. You flip one of the boss cards, do what it says. Flip one of the stage cards, do what it says. There's a reference card for the Kingdom stage. There's the Oni. I know they came into effect. I think they have something to do with the latest expansion too. There's 1, 18 hit points, 3 dice, boss. And the Golden Dragons. We are coming to the end. It's a rival there. All right, and there's some epilogue cards. Oh, there's a what would you call it? Player reference card, I guess, to step through the fighter turn. All right, that is the whole left side of the box cards. I'm assuming those were all like the main cards, and then these guys on the right side will be like some of those bonus expansion cards, but could be wrong on that. Let's see what we got. Brandon, fighter deck. The new Nahuali enemy deck. Not sure if those are special from an expansion or if they're just more of the same. But maybe some of you who previously had it will know. There's this little thing of cards here. Oh, I think this is the loot deck, right? I think that's what they call them. Stink Bomb. Yep, there you go, loot. Pick up loot during the stages. Knives Out. Clint. Coordinated Offense. offensive. Okay, now I do remember this. This is part of the Twin Tigers expansion, because that's one of the designers. I think that's the other designer. So they had like a little mini expansion with them as the heroes. Psychic. I like that play on words, psychic. So yeah, I do think these are maybe the expansion cards. Neutralizing Field, Jackal, and Surgical Strike, with some more epilogue. All right, that is everything in that box. That was a lot. Let's try and get it all back in, shall we? All right, so let's get all this back in here. I guess I am worried about the sleeving situation. I mean, this is how much space extra we have. That's not gonna, I might not be sleeving this one, or at least not at first. There's just so many cards. Or maybe just sleeve what I'm using at the time. That's just a ridiculous amount of cards. All right, let's put it back. I mean, I will say this does fit real nice together. So having Street Masters 1, Rise of the Kingdom, plus all the expansions all in this box, really nice. I don't know how it was before. I'm assuming they all had like separate boxes, but let's put this back on. And there we go. That was everything in Rise of the Kingdom. All right, so here we got Street Masters 2 Aftershock. And if you thought the first one was big, well, this one's even bigger. This is what I really wanted, actually, and it was tricky because 1 and 3 were the ones you had to have for like a core box to get all the tokens and dice and stuff, and 2 looked like it had more of a theme that appealed to me. So anyways, let's open this guy up. Oh boy. All right, so Street Masters 2 Aftershock. Okay, here's the sheet. Very nice. I got 124 miniatures in here, 959 fighter deck cards, 170 enemy deck cards, 294 stage deck cards. I mean, the amount of content is ridiculous. Looks like you do get tokens. And you get the turbo dice, but you didn't get the normal dice. I was trying to remember why you couldn't just get this on its own. And yeah, as we said before, this looks like the same rule book that we got in 1. So it just applies to all of them, which is smart. All right. So maybe before we get too far into this, I will say what's supposed to be in this. So this has Street Masters 2 Aftershock. Of note, I don't think this was called Street Masters 2 originally, but they sort of renumbered, or they put numbers on everything for this campaign. So this comes with the Aftershock stretch goals, the Aftershock deluxe items, the Essence of Evil expansion, and the Redemption Pack 2. Now, redemption packs, they come with cards that allow you to play as the bosses as fighters. I think that's how it went. Or maybe it was vice versa. I think it was the bosses as the fighters. So you could play as the bosses as good guys. All right, so here's the first mini pack, and look at that. The bear, the pose on that bear. I mean, I like how these are packaged. Everything seems to be in their place. Look at that guy. He's cool. All right. Second mini pack. Oh, and as soon as I say this, that guy's, oh, he's supposed to be upside down. He's just slightly off center. Quickly looking at these, though, I don't see anything of note that's like major damage or anything. Man, these guys are gnarly. Look at those. There's so many miniatures. We've got a third one. Ooh, and the translucent. I think that was part of the deluxe. Maybe I'm wrong. Those guys are out of place, but that's okay. I really like those purpley looking ones though. I don't want to pop this open. Fix these guys and girls. You're supposed to be like that. And just pop one of these guys out. Oh yeah. That's cool looking. All right. Whole bunch of punch boards. Let's open these guys up. All right, so let's go through these. We've got a whole bunch of tokens here. Punch board number 1. I do remember now that these came with step tokens, so you could know which step you're on. It's a cool idea. Looks like they give you 5 versions of all the normal tokens to help out with any bosses or fighters that use a lot of them. Punch board number 2. Front. Back. Glitch. Yeah, this definitely had like a cyberpunky almost theme to it. Maybe not, or like a, what's that role-playing game that's like cyberpunk and D&D mixed? I think it's Shadowrun. So yeah, I definitely was attracted to that theme more so. But like, I mean, the theme of this in general. Oh, I should show the back of that one. Of like Street Fighter kind of mixed with like Final Fight. Those sorts of video games, definitely up my alley. All right, so now we got the stages. So that was 3 punch boards and then stages. We got Meltdown. Derailed, Bogged Down, Triage. Oh my gosh. Well, there go those punch boards. That's okay. We'll just keep going. Schooled, Classroom, Spring Break, Rainstorm, Ring of Fire. Yeah, I'm definitely liking the design of these levels. Just the aesthetics of it more than the first one. Peer Pressure. Mob Rules. Real Terror. A State of Decay. And Pounding Pavement. Yeah, this is totally like those video games, right? And All the Rave. Yeah, the level design in this one is just a step up, I think. So to recap, that was 3 punch boards and 7 level boards, stage boards, which would be 14 stages. Looks like we've got the same design for the insert. It's even more packed than the first one though. Like both rows are just full of cards. There's no sleeve in this. There's no sleeve in this. I gotta come to terms with that. I'm sorry guys, you're witnessing firsthand me having to deal with this. Okay, there's the turbo dice. This time they got those oversized cards. Here, the Dawn, Mafia level, Yokai, fighter deck. Yeah, there's no sleeve in this. I'm just gonna have to accept that. I mean, it would cost a fortune, right? I really don't. Should I go through all these? I don't know if it's worth it. All right, let's go through them quickly. Forgive me if I mispronounce anything. Sometimes I might get off on a tangent rather than reading what the card or deck says, because honestly, this doesn't really mean much to me. But I know some of you who might have backed previous Kickstarters might want to see what actually comes in this. So we're going to go through one by one. well equipped, and an epilogue, a story card. That is the cool thing, Hanzo. That is the cool thing about what I did like. Sorry, my brain is trying to do multiple things at once. I did like how each fighter had sort of a storyline you could play through. Ronnie. Now, I'm probably screwing up the order of these cards. I hope they weren't in some sort of order that I'm supposed to save the order, because if so... Ooh, that guy. Wicked. Is he a hero or is he a bad guy? No idea. But yeah, they all had some sort of story that you could play through, and I really like that idea, just because there's so much to mix and match in this that I feel like maybe the best way to start is playing through a story of some of the fighters. And they were on cards instead of a book, which might be annoying, but might be cool. Glam. So that's a prologue. Part 1, prologue, Wanted, Clint, hero story. Yeah, I don't really know the details of the story, but there's Clint. There's the proxy. He's definitely a boss. Definitely looks like a cyberpunky boss. And the last one on this side, enemy decks overview. Fighter deck all along. Ooh, complexity rating even, so. All right, that's that one. Man, these are like packed in there. Let's get it back in. And get out the second one, which is just equally as massive. I'm trying to do this in some way that makes sense, but it's just chaos here. All right. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Anyone know how to pronounce that one? A morbid mortgage. I can't wait to dive into this. Out of my heady boom. Ways of the Underworld. Because you know how sometimes you open up the packs and it's like, the end of this pack is continued on the beginning of that pack. Like if I totally screw up the order, I'm going to be lost. Well, here's an ally. Jade. Renee, data recovery. This looks so cool. Aftershock. Story deck. Special rules. Fallen Angel, story deck, prologue. All along, did we already see him? It's boss. I'm trying to remember if the redemption packs had also the fighters as bosses. I don't think so though. I think it was making the bosses. Oh man, that guy, that thing. Project X is cool. I think it was just making the bosses playable as fighters. I think that's what they were. Davenport Manor. There's the Derailed stage deck. Recyclord. 100 hit points per player? Holy oh my gosh. Okay. Rainstorm. I like the play on words. They seem to be doing that a lot. I get a kick out of it. All the Rave stage deck. Ring of Fire stage setup. State of Decay. Spring break stage setup. All right, last one, peer pressure. See that? Real terror. That one looked cool, the cinema one. And not only do we have loot cards, binoculars, looks like there's some mission cards that are small size too. Hey, I could sleeve these. Is it even worth it at that point? I mean, the loot deck is really small. I'm used to like Final Girl where each location has their own items, unique items. So if you're using the loot in all the games, maybe I should sleeve them. Yeah, maybe I should. All right, I'm going a little loopy here, guys. It's late. That's why I'm doing it in another room. My kids are asleep. I'm dying to play this game, but I gotta unbox it first. There's just so much content here. Let's get it back together. Let's move on, shall we? All right, that's Aftershock. That's number 2, Street Masters number 2. Let's move on to the third one. Here we go, Street Masters 3, Tide of the Dragon. Boom. This is the one that did not deliver for Blacklist Games, the previous publishers. So I suppose I never even said basic things for Street Masters. It's 1 to 4 players, cooperative. You're all trying to fight a boss. Seems like games are relatively quick, at least at the low player count. And I believe the odd thing is if you did back the Indiegogo original one that didn't deliver, all the product was sitting in a warehouse, you got a different version of this because you got that one. And this is sort of like the repackaged Steamforged one. So anyways, let's take off the lid. Okay, of note, this one is smaller. So the first one was pretty big. Second one was even bigger. Third one, smaller than the first one. Not by much, a little smaller though. Street Masters 3, here we go. So 52 miniatures this time. 362 fighter deck cards, 42 enemy decks, 42 stage decks, 44 story cards. We've got tokens, we've got all the normal good stuff. Ooh, randomizer cards. Don't remember if those were in the first 2, but I know they did put those in eventually to help you figure out what to play. This, yeah. So this one's got the dice and the snap-on bases and the normal tokens. So this is sort of the smaller core version experience. You could get this, play a full game on its own. It's got its own stuff, but it was sort of a smaller, less expensive experience. So here we go. Miniatures, only 1 tray this time. Kind of shocking. Are these all minions? So those are all the same. These guys all match up. So it looks like there we've got the heroes. Heroes and bosses, maybe. Why am I trying to make sense of this when I'm a newbie? All right, punch boards, not that many this time. So pulling up the Kickstarter cheat sheet here, looks like Tide of the Dragon came with Tide of the Dragon, obviously, a Rumble pack and a new Challengers pack. What the heck was the new Challengers pack? I don't even remember. All right, so as I said, this is sort of the core standalone experience you can get. There's the tokens that you need to play. Awesome, everything looks awesome. Looks like health, damage tokens. These seem like they need an upgrade, right? Might find something cooler for that. Even more of your basic tokens. Even more. Then you've got your loot, your objectives. Looks like the fighters right there. Maybe bosses, I don't know. And your stages. Wow, there's only 1 double-sided stage. Sky High and Market Crash. I mean, that's cool, but kind of disappointing. I definitely could see if you bought this as sort of the standalone. Sure, you could try it, but you'd want more stages than that, right? All right, I've just gotten spoiled off the last 2, how much content there was. So this is different. We've got the dice, as in the first one, and the rings. But this is off to the left with spaces for tokens. And now I am remembering this bad boy. Ooh, okay. So that's got extra space underneath. Blank. But these were the upgraded, I don't know what you call them, but terrain pieces, basically. You know, you got the barrels that could be just a token. The crates, TNT. These are nice. What else we got here? Ladders. And fire hydrant. They definitely look nice. All right, we don't have too many cards to get through. Even though it's still a lot of cards. All right, so first thing, we've got the oversized ones. There's Zane, fighter deck. Victoria, fighter deck. Loot. We got a 2x4 there. Here we've got an attack card. Looks like for that Zane kid. Chepko. Now I know that was like the type of attack you're doing. There was like punch, grapple, something else, I don't remember. So like the enemies could have certain defenses against certain type of attacks. So lucky scarf. For Mr. Apple. He looks like he's got a lucky scarf. Beat by Beat, Isabella's hero story epilogue. Loot crate. Epilogue. Sacrifice throw. Mary Ann. That looks like her, right? That must be her sacrifice throw. Oh, there's the kick. So punch, grapple, kick, I think maybe were the 3 types of attacks. 10 speed. Bruce. Giroux. So suffice it to say, as in Final Girl, some of these characters were definitely inspired by various movies, actors, things like that. The All Heaven Gang. And finally, Cheon as a rival. And your helper cards. All right, not too many cards in that one. Definitely seems like a smaller base game experience. I'm kind of glad I didn't just get this one. I don't think it's, I don't think I would realize what you're missing, maybe. I think the first one would be the way to go. I mean, if you're on a budget, sure, I guess. But with only 2 stages, I mean, seems limiting. All right, we're almost at the end here. Let's put these back. Street Masters 3, Tide of the Dragon. That was the one people were waiting for a long time to finally get their hands on. And now we move on to the final one. All right, we've made it to the end. Lord knows how long this video is. But what the heck? Street Masters 4, Lament of the Blood Moon. Here we go. So this was the newest expansion. This is the expansion the Kickstarter was actually for. This allowed them to reprint everything. So this was definitely meant, at least I got the sense, that this was going to be a smaller, easy to design, develop, and print expansion, but it mostly allowed them to redo the whole product line at the same time and, you know, put it up on Kickstarter. So let's open it up. I don't think there was even too many bosses or anything, and I think it reused components from the other 3. So some of the minions and stuff, you were just supposed to, it was assumed you had the others, which might not have been ideal for people who, you know, we're jumping into it here. So here we go. We got 22 miniatures, 132 fighter deck cards, 114 enemy deck cards, 43 stage deck cards, 17 story cards, 1 ally rival card, 1 boss rush challenge. That's right. That was a stretch goal. Sounded pretty cool. It was kind of like a super hard, never ending mode, if I remember right. Map tiles, 2 double-sided map tiles, and 16 dividers. Oh, that's what those oversized cards are. Those are dividers. That's nice. I like that. Wow, this isn't even sealed in plastic. What the heck, guys? So we've got Showdown Sun stage and Higher Purpose Platform. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. I think that had something to do with the boss rush challenge too, that one. But and then Showdown Moon stage, so Sun and Moon, and Higher Purpose Terminus. Different layout to this one. We've got cards down here, minis up here. Let's pop. Oh, it's just one big. Okay, it's kind of funny. It's just empty space under here, you know. I know they probably had to do that to get this this in here. You know, this is the height of the cards, so it's kind of disappointing, but I could see why they did that. But just that much space for minis, it's kind of funny. I do want to look at these because these are the new ones, right? So let's look a little closer here. That one's cool. Let's look at these special ones. Red, translucent. Looks like these are all the same, right? Looks like these 6 down here are fighters and bosses. These we got minions. All these guys are the same. All those guys are the same. We're almost there. Home stretch, guys. Thanks for sticking with this. If you've watched the whole thing, yeah, I mean, it's quite a journey unpacking all this, I must say. So you know what? Let's open these. This is the new expansion, right? People don't know what's in this. They've never seen this before. Let's open these guys up. Okay, right off the bat, I can say these cards were not easy to open. They don't have those tabs, you know, that pull tab, open it up. Love it when things have that. So let's go through some of this and just look at the new ones. So we've got Anja, fighter deck. So these are the dividers. We've got Butler, Caitlin, like that one, Castle, Higher Purpose stage deck, Snowdown stage deck. I thought Showdown. Did I say Showdown before? Got the Atonement enemy deck, Nomads enemy deck, Silver Phoenix enemy deck, New Brotherhood enemy deck, the Empire enemy deck, and story decks. All right, so I spent entirely too much time opening these. So we've got 2 Empire cards, Exsanguinate, Blood Moon Event. Then we've got this Rally for the Atonement. And then all these are Silver Phoenix cards. Marionette, 4 of them, 5 of them. Rena, 5 of them. These are minions. 1 in each color. When they come out, you got to pop the colored base on them, show which one they are. I'm acting like I know what I'm doing with these. All right, so the first pack here, it looks like we've got Castle's deck and Caitlin's deck. So I'm not going to read all of them, but I will go through and sort of just flash some of these. So we got Snipe, few Snipes, Brute Force. Got 3 of those. Back to the Shadows. 3 of those. Desperate Measures. 3 of those. Take aim. 3. Quick work. Assassinate. Marked target. So yeah, it definitely seems like the deck had 3 of each and a bunch of different cards. Let's see if the same can be said for Caitlyn. So we've got Whirling Dervish, Deflection, Blade Dancer, Nimble, Determination, Phoenix Stance, Symmetry, Phantos. And I mean, obviously, she's modeled after Chun-Li, right? All right, next pack, we've got the Butler, not the Butler, and Anja. Looks like those 2 decks, so let's do Anja first. Delayed Strike, Thrust Kick, Armbar, Rebuke, Sabotage, Deflect Damage, Distraction, and paid off. Knock that over. Now we've got Butler's deck, Escalation, Make Some Room, Martyrdom, Ascetic, Bring It On, I Can Do This All Day, In Harm's Way, and Reckless Defense. All right, I think that was all the fighters, the 4 fighters that come in there. Then we've got Castle, Butler, Caitlyn, and Anja. They're like main cards. One thing to know, once you get powered up with 6 tokens, you can flip them, get your finisher, and usually they flip back, so you can get your I guess his is just called finisher. Butler has Retribution, Caitlyn has Blade Storm, Anja has Plan in Motion. So that's pretty cool. And then, here's their story decks. So this one is for Anja. Then we've got Butler, Caitlyn, and Castle. This is their prologues. Trying to figure out what these are. These are obviously part of her deck. So, yeah, I'm not sure if they're unlockable. So Delayed Strike, Thrust Kick, Armbar, Rebuke, Sabotage, Deflect Damage. Distraction, paid off. I think we already saw all these, didn't we? Are they just better versions of them, maybe? I recognize all these names. It's got to be just better versions. So out of curiosity, I pulled for Butler, the Escalation, the one that was the first one we saw, and then the second one we saw, and I noticed that definitely the second one has a triangle up. I think that says upgraded. Everything reads the same, except for this one could do the fighter you choose can play a tactic or an attack card from their hand, and this one was just a tactic. So yeah, these definitely seem like these are definitely upgraded versions of cards already in their deck. Now the next deck, we got Caitlyn as the boss. So this is part of the new challengers, I think is what it was, right? Making them a boss. Symmetry. So this is her as Silver Phoenix. I'm just gonna flip through these. We've got Marionette, the minion. Lucille. Nice homage there. The bat with nails. Rena. Blood Moon boss. There we go. Blood Moon Tactic, Moon Shades, Lunar Altar. These are all part of the Empire. Bolster Spirit. Here we go, Swiftclaw. He was the boss. Salaryman minion. One in each color. Jinru minion. One in each color. Mirage. And the Empire reference card. All right, we made it to the end of that one. Got 2 decks left here. So here we've got Anja, I don't know, her boss card. She is the Atonement. That's what it's part of. Rally, Teamwork, Plan in Motion, Sabotage. We've got Jin as a minion. Veronica as a minion. Anastasia as a minion. We've got Castle as a boss. What does he do? New Brotherhood. Got Lion as a minion. Reinforcements Event. Drago. Reinforcements Event. Power Soldier. Geez, I remember something about these. Don't remember anymore what. Something about the New Brotherhood. All right, Butler as a boss. Ain't over till it's over. That's different. That was I could do this all day card art. Martyrdom. Got Mountain General as a minion. Goliath as a minion. Felicia as a minion. All right. Whoa. It's getting late. I need to wrap this up. We got one more deck to go through, guys. All right. We got Swiftclaw as an ally. Boss Rush Challenge. Stage setup. Stage rules. Lament of the Blood Moon story deck. We've got Higher Purpose stage setup. Warehouse stage condition. Loading bay. Boss's Orders event. Let's see, these are all for Higher Purpose, right? Yep. Time is of the essence. Second Wind. Cargo drop. And then Snowdown stage setup. Blood Ritual stage condition, Sun, and I think Moon on the back. Power Swell, Intervention from Beyond. A lot of those. Punishment Due. Raining Blood. Blood Shrine Objective. One for each color, it looks like. And there we go. All right, somehow we made it to the end. Get all these cards back in here. All right, there we go. We got them all. Let's pack this back up. So that was everything in Street Masters 4, Lament of the Blood Moon. That's all the newest content that nobody's got until this Kickstarter. And you know what? I just remembered I had a couple add-ons. Let's go take a look. So first thing I got was the neoprene mats, 4 of them. So there's 4 mats here. for the play areas. Just thought that would be cool. Why not? I mean, I love play mats, so thought it'd be nice for this one. I'm not going to open these up. I don't really want to unroll them yet until I play. The other thing I got was Redemption 3. And it's showing White Moon, Tiger IP, Train, Swift Claw on there. It says it's got 4 fighter decks, 4 story decks, 4 card dividers, and 60 holographic fighter cards. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah, so this was Redemption 3. So all the 4 bosses that didn't have redemption, which I assume are these 4. Wasn't it these 2 were from 4 and these 2 were from 3? I believe that's how it went, because 3 didn't have a redemption pack. But then they put holographic cards for all the rest. So that's cool. Oh, I'm tempted to open this. Why not? Let's do it real quick. Okay, I've got to open it. I expected it to like slide out, but it doesn't. I guess it's a flap thing. Seems odd for it has cards in it. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, yeah, that's shiny. That's nice. That's 1, 2. We got Blood Moon stuff. 3. Tiger IP. Is that Tiger IP? Tiger IP? Who knows? And Train. Very cool. Oh, and the dividers are on the side. All right. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Just a nice little bonus. It was kind of expensive for what it was, but at that point, you've got everything else. Might as well get it. There's Swift Claw. So question, do I play with these or just keep them? I don't know. Might be hard on the eyes, but they do look nice. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. That is everything in the all-in for Street Masters 1, 2, 3, and 4, specifically 4, Lament of the Blood Moon, which was the newest one, plus some add-ons like the playmat and the redemption pack. This was a long one. I can't wait to play it. I am hyped to learn the rules and kind of mix and match fighters, locations, bosses, all that good stuff. I think it'll be tons of content that you can't possibly play through everything. And if I enjoy it, then this is perfect. I will have a lot of game to play. I know this was a long video, so thank you to anyone who made it to the end, and totally appreciate it. Click that like button, give me a subscribe. I do a lot of videos on Final Girl. I do special rules videos for all the feature films. That is my main content right now. But I also do how to plays for various other games. Just check it out on my channel. I appreciate you guys watching, and let me know in the comments what you think of this game. Had you heard of Street Masters? I hadn't heard of it before, and when I looked into it, it just seemed so cool, and there wasn't much content out there, like not very many playthroughs, not very many how to plays or anything like that. So it just really seemed like this had flown under my radar. So yep, thanks guys, appreciate it. If you want to check out more of my videos, links will be popping up on the screen. And with that, Michael Skeleton is out.